I think we have the Mint 400 figured out. You know, you can't go balls out like most races from start to finish. It doesn't work out. You see the attrition rate that happens. The first lap there, so many people fall out.
Mint 400 as a whole is an amazing race. It's probably my favorite race ever. It's rough, it's technical, rocky.
You have fast stuff, slow stuff, big whooped out stuff. It's my type of desert racing. I like racing the Mint 400. We've been doing it quite some time. We've ran the Mint 400 ever since it's come back. So I know the Gene area pretty well. So when we go in, I mean, we have pretty high hopes. The qualifying course for the Mint 400, I think, is a pretty good one. It shows everything that the trophy trucks are capable of doing. Their jumps are a little big. We don't like those because those are pretty hard landing to flat lands, but it does show what these trucks can take and eat up. You know, I got handed kind of like a lucky dog card. You know, I got to do a second rerun for qualifying. Our first run was going smooth. We actually blew one corner. I kind of knew it's like, all right, we're going to be back a little bit, and 3/4 of the way through, we had to slow down and detour because there was a rolled over Class 1 car. So I really got fortunate enough and got to do a second run. Yeah, I don't always like to do a second run because sometimes you can get yourself in trouble because you feel overconfidence, but I knew on this one, I knew my truck really well. It was handling everything perfect, so getting a second run for us was even better. You know, we kind of really knew how hard we could hit stuff, and it showed it paid off. Qualifying third overall and starting third was incredible and put me in a great position.
Terry Householder qualified the truck. He did a great job. Put a good pace down. I think we qualified 18th. Qualifying mid-pack is perfect.
The game plan going into this Mint 400 was be smooth and keep your nose clean. That's what we've always figured out for this race, is try to have no issues, and it didn't start out that way for me. Starting 2 at the time, it's fun. I know it makes it great for the spectators, but it's hard because you have to push right off the bat because you want to get in front of that guy you're starting next to so you have clean air. Man, I worked my butt off to try to get around him, but he kind of came up, clipped my front end a little bit, and he got a little sideways and got ahead of me. So it made it fun for the fans and spectators watching. It's a little frustrating not getting the whole shot, because again, you really want that clean air. So when that happens and he got ahead of me, we were pushing really hard. I tried to stay as close to him over in the speed zone, because my whole goal was I wanted to try to open up that Gibbs motor, hold that thing wide open across the lake bed and try to pass him. Didn't happen like that, but we tried our best, so it was interesting.
I think there was 36 spec trucks, ton of trucks, so super competitive field, a lot of fast guys out there. Game plan for me and Terry, basically he's gonna do the first 2 laps. I'm gonna hop in halfway through, get some nice solid laps in it, try to keep your tires fresh and make it to the finish line. Start of the race for Terry went great. He got the whole shot on Hall. They had a little contact in the infield, so it was awesome to watch.
This Mint 400, by far the roughest one we've ran. They've ran this course in the same direction so many times now. Like, our first lap was as rough as it was the last lap last year. It's rough, but with my King shock setup, it smooths out all those big square edges, so we can run pretty hard there and still feel pretty comfortable. $20-30 miles in, my hood started popping off and visibility comes down, and then I got a flat tire, and man, I thought it was going bad right off the bat, and I got a little frustrated. We just kind of tagged a rock on the side and got a left rear flat, had to change that out on course, and by that time we were all stacked up, and I got passed by 3 people. I got passed by RCRO, Harden, and Concrete, so that was a little frustrating. You know, I thought my race was pretty much ended there for winning it, but we kept pushing on.
First lap went well. He ended up getting a flat, but he had a great pace, kept the truck, you know, consistently moving, and with this race, you just got to keep moving.
So coming into the end of the first lap, people started falling off. Concrete slowed up just before the speed zone. I was catching Harden. I was able to pass him. He had a problem. And it's like, all right, cool. We picked off 2 people. So we came in, did our pit. After we got going again, Nick was off to the side, still in the pit. So I was like, man, I was back to second. So definitely a great way to finish the first lap back into second. Going into the second lap, my goal was still to stay behind Ryan's dust in flat tire area. So if he gets a flat tire, that we're still close enough that we can get ahead of him before he gets back going. So that was kind of the pace that I was doing. I knew I wasn't going to catch him and pass him physically under power. It's very hard to do here and at the speed we were going. So that was kind of my strategy that I was playing.
Second lap was good. He had a great pace, keeping his nose clean the whole time.
About 3/4 of the way through the second lap, we were in this rough, gnarly technical section. He was off to the left-hand side, changing a flat tire, and we got by him, and at that point, we were first on road again. When you see him pulled over and you're passing by him, and you know you're first on road, it's incredible. Like, you know, it's like, all right, we're back in the game. But you still have to have a mindset. Don't push too hard to hurt the truck. So we just kind of set our pace from there and completed the second lap. Going from there out to the third lap, I mean, it was all smooth going. I got my time splits. I had plenty of time, and we just kind of ran I call it a conservative pace, and just kind of watch where everyone is to let me know, do I need to pick it up? Can I go slower? And that's what we did for the third lap. Truck was working really good, just floating through it. Just, man, it felt like a two-stroke motorcycle, just popping up and carrying momentum, getting on top, doing 85, 90, 100 miles an hour through those big holes. It's pretty exhilarating.
It's a lot easier, I'd say, to get in the truck mid-race than it is the start of race. You know, it takes a lot of stress and nerves to get off that start line with everybody watching you. Middle of the race, you know, nobody really knows. So you can kind of just slip in there, kind of put your pace out there, get comfortable, and then start to pick it up. As soon as you see that resume race speed, you know, you're on it. You're fired up, your heart's pumping, you're ready to go. We sent the first jump a little hard, bud. You know, it was great. Truck handled it perfect. Justin, you know, got a little mad at me because he's been in for the, you know, whole 2 laps getting crap beat out of him. So after that, kind of settled down, kind of figured out my pace a little bit. Right after the rock quarry, you get the asphalt road. So we were moving pretty good. We ended up catching a slower trophy truck. He accepted the push to pass. He started moving over. As soon as we go to pass him, he cuts over. So I blow through a couple lines, ended up tagging a couple rocks, got a flat right there. So Justin hopped out, changed that in no time. Got back out there. You know, you can't let those tires hinder you. You got to keep your head held high and just get a good pace going. So the rest of that lap, I was really focused on just getting to the finish. You know, you got 1 spare in the rack, so you really don't want to get another tire.
Man, I have an incredible pit crew. Like, they're dedicated to this. They come out and support me, and you know, they do an incredible job fueling and changing tires in about 30 to 35 seconds. So we're up par with everyone else, and that's what it takes to get out front and, you know, win these races. Pitting on the last lap, we did our normal fuel and tires, just for safe, you know, make sure you have good tires underneath you, which we already know we have with BFGoodrich. So much stuff happens on the last lap. I don't want to be the statistic of, break on the last lap while leading. So going on that 4th lap, we were just kind of setting a pace. It was kind of a cruise pace to make sure everything was all good. Ran into some lap traffic, not too bad. They got out of the way pretty quick.
Yeah, 4th lap was great. I mean, we were moving pretty dang good. Sun was going down, so obviously with all the dust and the sun in your eyes, you got to try and keep that pace up. The hard part about off-road racing that a lot of people don't realize is when you're passing somebody, you're in their dust, and you have to drive harder than they do, and they can see. Ended up making a pass on Miller through there. It was pretty awesome. He's got all that new Fox Live valve, but I don't know, these King shocks, man, they work. Ended up catching a Brenthal truck, gave him a couple taps, try to be nice about it. And you just got to stay on top of the whoops through there, especially in the spec truck being down on power. You got to keep your momentum. You got to stay on top. If you can't stay on top of those whoops, the desert's going to eat you.
About mile 50 coming up Beer Bottle Pass, which a lot of people saw on live TV, that we had to change a right rear tire, and my co-rider Trevor is phenomenal. Got out, changed a tire, re-racked it in 90 seconds, and away we went. So props to him for doing an incredible job. He's been an awesome co-rider for me. Like he's passionate just as much as I am about winning desert races, and we make a good team for it. Coming over the speed zone and coming into the pit for the final time, such an incredible feeling. Like all the pit guys standing at pit road, just clapping you on, giving you thumbs up, number one. Like that's probably the most special and most incredible feeling anyone could get as a racer. So that was definitely a heartfelt moment, knowing that we are winning the Mint 400 back to back. It feels good to win the Mint 400 back-to-back. As far as I know of, there's only been one other person, Justin Lofton, of doing it. So to be able to do that is definitely something special.
This truck was working so well.
Yeah, it just shows like from the first lap we can do it at speed, and the last lap, we're just kind of bouncing through it, and that just shows how brutal and tore up the course gets, and we just motor through it and keep moving forward.
I freaking love it. How about you guys? You love it?
Pulling up to the finish line, everybody surrounded Adam and Trevor. You can't beat them. They're crushing it. They're doing awesome. Proud of them. So you see them at the finish line drinking their beers, and that's the first thing you want to do is hop out of that truck, say hi to your friends and family, and just hang out, have a party.
I'm ready for the three-peat. We're going back.